Now this is how those relationship or marriage lines work. This is your heart line right here. And then you have that ring around the mercury finger, that pinky finger. You have a timeline that goes down through here. This is right around age 20. Well, actually, we split this up in thirds. So this is your 20s and 30s, 30s and 40s, then 50s and beyond up here. And that's just kind of a general timeline. As we take a look, we look at the horizontal lines that go across the edge of that hand. And your relationship lines are going to be a little bit lighter than what the marriage lines are. You can see, one, maybe two little relationship lines in there. But then you have this very strong marriage line. You can tell by the deeper color. Let's really expand that so make sure and see those lines. So this is probably the marriage you're in right now. And it actually goes along nice and straight. You don't see a lot of fussy lines. Oh, you see some little negative lines, maybe kind of a little bit of a rough start. You've got a little island in there. But then that line really evens out, and it has a good color to it. Looks to be a good marriage line. And then we don't really see any other marriage lines above that. We do see another line way up here in your late 70s. It looks more like a relationship line. It could be a marriage line. It's hard to say on those. You have to kind of, that could also be a renewal of vows on this marriage. You're going to find that as time goes along, if that is a renewal of vows, that these lines will tend to merge together. So, that's your marriage lines. Now, we're going to take a look at your children lines. Let me move my notes up here a little bit so I can kind of keep track of where I'm at. And how that works is we look at the vertical lines that come down off that bottom ring of that pinky finger, of that mercury finger. And let's see, we said in your information you've got 2 children. These are actually money lines that we'll talk about here in a little bit. But you've got these 2 very strong lines. There's a possible third line there, but we think that that might be a grandchild, because you've got the 2 lines here, then you've got a little gap, and then you got a bunch of lines behind that. Those are grandchildren lines. We don't usually count those in your hand. Those are better counted in your children's hands. But that first line right there, after the two very prominent lines, now that could be a third child, but it looks like it's probably a really close bond with that first grandchild. Like I say, we count those grandchildren lines in your children's hands. We've just never got a really good accurate read on those, but there's a pile of them there. Those first 2 lines are very strong lines. It looks to be a good close bond.